I've never done a walkthrough in the winter, so here's our winter walkthrough, November 14th, 2022. And we have some berries unlimited varieties here. Check 17 berry blue, some more berries unlimited. Get to the University of Saskatchewan borealis, tundra. I had to really do a pruning on tundra this summer. It almost died. No apparent reason, but I cut away most of it. But you know, there's new shoots coming up, so yeah, it'll survive. Okay, indigo gem, and well, my project this morning was to label everything. So yes, we have nice labels with permanent marker from our nursery label printer. There's over 60 varieties in here. I'm not going to bother with every single one, but I'll just point out a few. Kauai here is from Dr. Maxine Thompson's breeding program. I gave it quite the pruning as well, and you can see there's new wood coming up from the base there, thinner stalks. These Solo Maxi, Keiko, Cheeto, they're all been had a good fall haircut. And then we get to the plants, Dr. Thompson's plants that did not get a brush cut this last fall, summer. So we can see that the older branches that naturally flop over with the fruit are now flopping over extensively with the snow. So I understand in Japan they bind them upright, and I might have to think about doing that. So I'll see how much winter kill there is, if there's much on the older branches that just are, you know, we'll let them go this year and we'll evaluate next year whether how much pruning to do each year. I'm still learning, but yeah, the more Russian varieties, these have only been pruned once a couple of years ago, and they can handle the snow and ice very well. So we have over 60 varieties now, named selections, I should say. And there's our freezer truck at the back. We have a freezer truck full of freezers. We just have some chest freezers. That's where we put the extra berries we harvest into 4 or 5 gallon buckets and stick in chest freezers. But here we are with the University of Saskatchewan. Let's see, that would be Blizzard, Beast, and Beauty. Got off to sad, I struggled here the first couple of years, but it's coming back now. I got some landscape fabric down, and we got taking better care of it. So I figure they can survive here at Honeyberry Farm. They can survive just about anywhere, but the more you do take care of them and keep the grass and weeds away, the better. The cherries struggle here because we are right at the edge of the field where the pocket gophers come in and like to nibble on the cherry plants. So we lost quite a few and have replanted, but and cherries also from the University of Saskatchewan breeding program, they tend to die off a bit, but they'll come back from the roots, send out suckers, and so they rejuvenate themselves pretty good. So yeah, if I had to do it over again, I would put the cherries in the middle of the patch. That makes it harder for the pocket gophers to come in from the open field, the pasture over there, because they like to come in and eat the cherries. They don't bother the honeyberries so much, but actually the pocket gopher made a beeline right over to my garden, right on the other side of the berry bushes. So yeah, they're kind of a pain. We have some gooseberries here. We gave them a pruning last fall as well, and some red and white and pink currants. We have black currants, well, further tucked away a little further back. So yeah, this is my demo plot, and then we have 15, 16 rows of honeyberries over there of earlier varieties for our U-pick. and it is a beautiful winter morning. I'm doing this before it gets too cold. It's 23 degrees Fahrenheit right now, -5 centigrade, with some sparkling snow. And here's our zero-turn mower, which now has trouble getting through these rows that are planted 10 feet apart. But yeah, it's good for our other orchard where we have a wider row spacing. So these rows have not only been pruned once, I think, and then even further back they're pretty much totally closed in. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning at the Honeyberry farm. We put in a hugelkultur raised bed, grew a bunch of squash on it last year. That worked good. I took in some kale, but there's still some there. Raspberries, just brush, some grapes over there. That's our packing shed. We don't grow anything in the high tunnel greenhouse, but we like to have the light atmosphere there when we're doing our spring and fall shipping. So if you ever get a chance to come by the Honeyberry farm, you're very welcome. First week in July is probably the best week, first 2 weeks of July, to get a taste of the most different varieties of honeyberries. Cherries ripen mid-July as well, mid to late July, and the currants a little bit later. Have a great winter, everyone.